Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the video. Today I pushed to top 3000 with Lava Tombstone. It was a tough process, but we did manage to untilt 400 trophies and get up to our season high. Looking forward to playing the rest of the season with this deck, and today I'm going to be commentating over some replays for you guys. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so I'm going to start us off with a matchup against Pekka Queen Bridge Spam, and this is a very difficult matchup. I'm going to be real with you. It's not impossible, definitely not, or else I wouldn't have won it, but it's a very tough matchup. They have the Snowball, the Poison. The Poison is arguably easier than the Fireball to face, so that's what makes this matchup winnable. But, you know, it's just tough because, you know, the E-Wiz and the Poison's slow, and it just kind of stalls you, and then the Queen just completely decimates your stuff. But yeah, so he went with the Queen at the bridge. A safe play is just the wrap it up with 3 elixir, push it back with the Tombstone to make sure he can't do nothing. And here, this Lava Hound is kind of just to scout out what he's got. What is he doing? You know, what cards does he have? Because Pekka Bridge Spam and Mega Knight Bridge Spam, they have lots of different variants. So we just want to check out what he's running. We see the E-Wiz, and then the Poison comes down. That's unfortunate, terrible play by us. Also, the Zap was useless, so just misplays there. But now we know what he is doing, and we're not completely out of the game yet because we get Death Bomb and a couple Lava Hound chips, and Eva's off the board, and just like that, we're even as well. He's up a little bit in damage, but we're at the same elixir, and now we know everything he's got. We can kind of just leave the Bandit there because it's already at like 2/3 health due to the Mega Minion swipe. And so not the best position here, but we are up 3 elixir. So we're just going to Hound in the back here, and now we know what he's going to use to try and get rid of our Lava Push. Now he does go Queen in the back, and it's like, okay, well the Queen's just going to sit there, so what's he going to do with this E-Wiz? Because he doesn't want to give us Fireball value, so he's going to put it off the left, so we use Skeleton Dragons to take it out. You don't really have to predict it necessarily, but it's just gotta, you know, do the job. And right here we're gonna zap the Queen so it gets off of the balloon and targets our lava pups, so that allows the balloon to get a hit, and we do take that tower. The zap there was pretty important because what that does is it allows the Queen to retarget to whatever's closest to her. So you don't want to zap if she's like right next to the balloon, but you can zap to get her off of the pups, or onto the pups, sorry. So here he goes with the Ram Rider. That's just, okay, we'll Tombstone in front because the Tombstone in front is the best versus the Ram Rider, because if you put it to the left in the middle of the field, she will recharge and she will hit the tower, and that's really annoying. But here we just kind of go in. He's in a pickle. We get a Fireball value here. We hit both of them, and it's just wrapping up from here. So it's a tough matchup if you don't like have experience versus Bridge Spam, but it's definitely winnable, especially if you can get good value in double elixir out of Fireballs and Skeleton Dragons. And I think this matchup comes down to just getting Skeleton Dragon value, like how we killed the E-Wiz, because the Skeleton Dragons can't be killed instantly by Poison. Alright, so the next matchup I want to show you guys is versus Golem, and I was just proud of this one because I felt like I did a really good job of wrapping it up, and it was just a smart game because to play against like fellow beatdown decks, it's whoever has, you know, the most brain cells or the best starting hand. But in this case it was brain cells because neither of us had our tanks in our starting hand, which, what? We have to use skill? No, I don't think this Golem player can handle that, so that's why we won ultimately. But yeah, this was a dangerous play, Tombstone, because he could have gone with the E-Giant, you know, because the Dark Prince and E-Giant are in the same deck, but I felt like, you know, it's just okay. We'll just do it anyways, because I don't want to take hits from that Dark Prince. So what do we do here? He Golemed in front, so we're just going to go in with the Balloon, and we are going to go in with the Skeleton Dragons to take out these bats to make sure they don't kill our Balloon. Now the plan here is just to tower trade, and he's going to, whenever they put that cage over there, they're always going to NATO to King Tower. So what we're going to do here is use the Mega Minion Skeleton Dragons to wrap up the Night Witch, and then they'll go make their offensive push because he's down in elixir. And what's he going to do? Baby Dragon? He does, and it just dies. The zap might have been unnecessary again. I do a lot of unnecessary zaps there, but I think it kind of, I believe the tower was targeting the, no, it wasn't. That zap was kind of just not necessary, because the baby dragon would have killed that anyways, but yeah, whatever. We're still up 2 elixir. We would have been up 4 elixir, but it doesn't really matter because the strategy is the exact same here. We're just going to wait for him to go Golem. He doesn't go Golem, so we can't go in with the balloon, and I'm not even sure that would have been the right play, so that's why I didn't do it. We're just going with the Tombstone here. It's going to make that Dark Prince not connect, and we're just going to go with the lava in the back. Now, here is the plan. Now, I wasn't expecting it to charge and hit there, so that was a misplay, or maybe it wasn't a misplay, it was just, you know, I didn't expect it to happen. We're going to go with the balloon all the way in the back, and now he's going to go with the Night Witch to try and get some air defense going. So what's going to happen here is we're just going to prediction fireball. Look at this prediction fireball. We hit the baby dragon and the Night Witch, and then we kill them both. And what's going to happen here is we use guard so that the golem does not take our entire tower. We're going to go in with another lava hound, because we're trying to go for the 2 right here since he tornadoed us back. He does lightning, but it's like, okay, we have 2 lava hounds. Let's try and make this, let's try and capitalize off of this. He's going to pull it back again. This zap did not do what I wanted it to do. And we could have ultimately had the tower just targeting the lava hound. So I was being a bit careless with the zap. So you don't want to zap there. That zap made the tower retarget off of our lava hound, but you know, in the end I knew that zap wasn't gonna matter because we had 2 lava hounds on the board, you know, and a balloon, and I'm pretty sure at one point we had like 2 lavas and 2 balloons, so that was just a GG. Here I'm gonna bring you a match against Royal Recruits, which is, you know, for some reason not as popular in the meta. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it is popular in the meta, I just haven't seen it. This is definitely a winnable matchup. And, you know, like, after facing all these off-meta hard counters, you gotta kind of deal with them, but it's certainly, like, demoralizing to face them. But to face things like Recruits, that's exactly what I want, because it's a 50-50 matchup, you know, it can go either way. It's based on who plays better, and that's just the best. So we go in with the Tombstone deep so that he can't, like, flying machine snipe it. I mean, he could, but it's a tricky spot. I think the tower targets him, maybe, but it's just a good Tombstone placement to pull all the recruits and to make sure the flying machine doesn't, like, hit it immediately. And then we go in with the guards on Skelly Drags and wrap it up, and we're just sitting at a +1, and we took barely any damage. Now, I'm kind of waiting here because I know I have to use a fireball for his hog, so I don't want to go in with the lava push because we need the fireball for the lava push. So we just go in again with the, I think we're just going to go in with the defensive Tombstone. We zap there. I think that was just a cycle. I mean, we're just trying to get back to our fireball. Not for his hogs, but to build up our own push. Because at a certain point, if we get stuff down, we can just go lava into it. See, like here we're going to stuff the zappies at the bridge. And what's he going to do now? There's literally nothing for him to do, because he can't recruits into that, because then he'd have, like, nothing to deal with, or nothing to deal damage with. We just guards there to make sure that the hogs don't take our tower, and just like that, we're in a very, very good situation. What's he gonna do? You know, pull. All he can do now is try and zappies, but now we're back to fireball, so it doesn't really matter. These zappies don't target our balloon anyways, and he decides to go in here instead of going with the cage, I think. So we just go in with another deep Tombstone. It's not deep necessarily, it's just a Tombstone. But at that point, he's trying to use his flying machine for defense, so we don't really need to go in with the deep Tombstone. We fireball there, get good value, and we just wrap up his push here. We take some damage on the left side, but it's kind of whatever, you know. Left side's not a problem right now. Now let's do it again. We're going to go here with the Mega Minion. We're going to go with the Tombstone deep-ish. I don't think that's deep. I think it's a normal placement. I keep saying deep Tombstone. I don't know why. I got deep Tombstone on my mind. We're going to go in with a fireball here, which is just utter garbage because I didn't look at it at all. But there's 14 seconds left. He's not going to take our tower. He tries to go in, but like Tombstone's down, guards down, Mega Minion down. Just not going to happen. Don't talk about that fireball because the rest of the match was beautiful. Alrighty, so right here I have one of the off-meta decks that we faced. You're going to face off-meta decks, and it's tough. It's always tough, and I face a lot of them that I think are unbeatable, and it's like, oh, it's frustrating, but this one, is winnable. It's not nice. Mega Knight Prince, Mega Knight Double Prince, Executioner Ewiz is not nice, but we win here due to the sole fact that he doesn't have NATO. Using with another Prince here, what we can do is just Mega Mini. I don't want to waste a Tombstone because I don't know what he's got. He's running some weird off-meta stuff. He does get 2 Prince hits, but that's better than a 1,000 Prince hits. So, moral of the story, that was a good Mega Minion. It prevented some damage for low cost. That's the goal there. Now we just guards again because it's a mini P.E.K.K.A. and that's a 3-for-4 trade. It just wraps him up and it also prevents some damage from the Ewiz. And we just go in here because I'm like, wait, what has he got? You know, we gotta kind of test the waters a little bit. And he does go in with the Executioner. We put it there just because I'm really feeling like he doesn't run a building, so he can't really pull it, and it was good for us in the end. We only get 1 Loon hit though, which is sad. But just like that, you know, it's a tie game. We're winning by a little bit. You can't ask for more against a deck with Executioner Double Prince in it. He goes in here and it's like, ugh. That's a bad Mega Minion on my part. We should have hesitated just a moment, like a millisecond before placing it so that it would target the Executioner, but that the Mega Knight would also, the Executioner would also not target our Skeleton Dragons, if you know what I'm saying there. So, like, we could have placed it a bit later, but not too late, because if it was too late, then the Executioner would kill our Skelly Drags. It did in the end, but we saved our tower, and that's really important, because he doesn't have a win condition in this deck, so he has to spend spell damage, and that's not smart by him there. We can just Skeleton Dragons here and wrap up a Dark Prince before it gets too much damage, which is really nice. We already have seen that he's played pretty much all of his cards with no NATO, and if he had NATO he would have already used it, so we go in here again. He's not prepared for this. His cycle is not cheap. We go in there again. We're gonna pull this Prince with guards because we want to make him spend a fireball on offense to take our tower, because if he does, then guess what, we can just Skeleton Dragons and probably win the game. And here I'm confident that the Tombstone plus Mega Minion plus tower is going to wrap this up, so we fireball onto the Ewiz and then we just win from there 2-1. So a tough matchup indeed, off meta, but we can wrap it up if we play smart. Alrighty, so we do have I feel like I started the last cut with Alrighty, and that's such a weird thing. I like never say that, so I don't know why I did it again, but forgive me. Hog EQ, always tough. You've always got to assume they run lightning now. Just be careful, because since the introduction of the Archer Queen, some Hog players like to run lightning. This was not one of them, fortunately, but it does make the matchup a lot tougher. And when you think you can tower trade, you know, and they pull out a lightning, it's just hard to deal with. Now he goes in with a massive push here, and I'm thinking, okay, let's just tower trade. We kill the Firecracker by placing the Skeleton Dragons late, which is really important. And I want to stress that again. I'm sorry, I want to go over that again. So what happens here is he builds up a big push, right? And the Firecracker, we do not want to target our Skeleton Dragons because we want our Skeleton Dragons to wrap up the Hog and the Valk. So we place it after the Firecracker gets a hit. And just like that, he's only got Tesla. We're going to place it behind the gate right there so that he cannot use a Tesla in the middle and just target the Loon. And since he tried to do that, he got caught by our Skeleton Dragons on defense, which was pretty big. And here we just make sure the fireball doesn't hit the King Tower, because I just, you know, OCD kind of, and we just take that tower. So a good tower trade, and now we're just chilling. We know he probably doesn't have lightning because he would have played it by this point. Like, come on, that was an easy lightning right there. He would have saved his tower. And so here we go in with the Tombstone over here to make sure the Hog doesn't get too much damage. This is an annoying little Mega Minion interaction. It doesn't finish killing the Valkyrie, but, you know, it's just, it doesn't, I don't think it changed anything there, except maybe a Hog hit. But now, look, we defended his push, so we can just go in, because he has nothing to pressure us with since he just went in. That's an important thing to recognize, especially for newer Hound players. that you're like going in with the lava when he has his pressuring cards in hand, and you just can't do that. That's not good. So we're gonna go in here. We're just gonna save the tower is the point here. We're gonna predict a Tesla in the middle with their guards, because that's like the normal play. It doesn't even pull anyways, because I think the guards shoved him back, but I don't know if the guards can do that. So I just think that that was a good play by us to make sure we wrapped up the Tesla, because he doesn't really need to pull at that point. He gets firecracker chip, and his Tesla wraps up the balloon. But here it's just GG's. That's pretty much how you want to deal with Hog and Earthquake there. You want to make sure you're getting positive elixir. No, you're not getting positive elixir trades. What you want to do is just make sure you take care of his offense and then go in with your own offense. That's basically like the entire moral of the story. Now for the last matchup to get us to 7100, we have this abomination. Now this is a deck that is like kind of popular. I mean, it's ran by a lot of people, but it's weird. So I'm pretty sure it classifies as off meta. It's not a meta deck really, or maybe it is. I don't know. Correct me in the comments. But Mega Knight, Prince, Royal Giant. It's winnable. I don't want to say it's a good matchup. It might be, but I don't know. It's definitely not for a lot of Hound players. It's difficult. They spam a lot. It's hard to deal with. So we're just going to go with the Tombstone there to make sure we wrap up the Prince, because at this point, before he plays his Royal Giant, I have no idea he's running this deck. Now I do, of course, but before that could have just been, you know, the normal Prince bait. But here we go in, because we know what he's running. We'll fireball this Dark Goblin here, and we're going to take this tower. He's very low on elixir. If he princesses, that's not going to stop it. Or maybe it would have stopped it, but that's kind of a wasted 3 elixir. And I think he knows that. So we're just sitting here up 2300. We go in with the Mega Minion to prevent some damage. We don't want to use our guards because we need those for the Prince / Royal Giant / Mega Knight, because I know he has Mega Knight. I know the deck now. Just chilling. 27 seconds till double. We're pretty safe going in with the Tombstone here. And it's a deep Tombstone because I'm expecting a Mega Knight. And he goes opposite lane with this Mega Knight, which is okay. You can do that. That was the plan. We want him to go opposite lane, because if he goes opposite lane, that means that he's not going in the same lane as us. And we wanted to start a Hound push. And ultimately, it doesn't matter because we wrapped it all up. But I didn't get a Hound down during that because I was busy defending. So ultimately, the play to force him to the left side didn't matter. So we go in with the Hound here because that's just, you know, what we need to do. We're going to snipe the Princess here. We are going to get the Skeleton Dragons to help out on defense. Now, I kind of messed this up a little bit, just a wee bit. These guards here were late. They allowed the Prince to get a hit, and now the Prince is alive. Alive and well and annoying, because the Mega Minion retargeted. And so I was like, wait, a zap is useless here, so let's just go in with the fireball, because we need the zap for the Skeleton Army, because I know I have had very bad experiences with people who just shove the Giant and the Skeleton Army in the pocket, and I can't deal with it. But there we do deal with it because we saved our zap. And it's not the prettiest game there, but we did wrap it up, and we got to 7,100 with about 10 days left in the season. And top 3,000. So thank you guys for checking out the video. If you did enjoy, please subscribe, leave a like, and help us get to 900 or 1,000 followers subscribers before the end of the year.